Imagine if your data could think for itself. Introducing Minds by MindsDB, a new kind of AI that doesn't just retrieve data, but reasons with it, delivering insightful answers, transparent processes, and actionable outcomes. So make sure to stay tuned to see it in action. Minds isn't just another AI model. It's a turnkey system combining reasoning, planning, and orchestration across your entire data landscape. Designed to run seamlessly on dedicated cloud or on-prem environments, Minds respects privacy at every single step. Think of Minds as an expert embedded within your applications. It interprets questions with precision using parametric search, provides contextualized responses through semantic understanding, and calculates exact answers by blending data insights with machine learning models. And with Minds, you can empower users with conversational AI search, transforming information retrieval into a natural conversational experience. Or you can also unlock the power of conversational AI analytics, enabling anyone to analyze and gain insights from your data, all through simple natural language. All right, that's enough of me. Let's now go see Minds in action with our Chief Product Officer, Sydney.
Hey folks, my name is Sydney. I am the Chief Product Officer here at MindsDB, and I want to show you a little bit of a demo here about how I use Minds in my everyday job, and also some of the things I'm learning as we talk to organizations about what Minds can do. So let's jump into it. First of all, Minds are a developer-friendly solution to really power your AI application, and we focus on conversational search and conversational AI analytics. But let me show you exactly how these things work. One of the cool things is it's very easy and fast to get a Mind up and running. All you literally have to do is give it a name, connect it to a data source, put your credentials in, and you're off and running. And when I mean you're off and running, or when I say you're off and running, I mean it. It's very quick to get things started. Once you've connected a data source, I have a few Minds here that have data sources connected to them. Here's one that I use all the time. It's my product manager Mind. It's like a co-pilot, right? It's connected to my data, and I can just ask it questions that a product management expert should be able to answer. And so one of the things that I might want to know is, what's the percentage distribution of our customers based on their size? Makes sense as a question to me, but it's a very easy question for me to ask, a much more difficult one for me to answer. I'd have to look through all kinds of databases and figure out how to write SQL and all that kind of good stuff. But here, what you'll see is the Mind can take this question and break it down, right? So first it needs to figure out, like, what is it being asked? So it understands the question that I'm asking. That's the semantic part, the contextual part. Then it tries to figure out, well, what data do I have that can answer that question? In this situation, I have a couple of tables in my database that it can look through. It does look through them, and it actually figures out not only what the right table is, but here's what I call customer size. Here's how I define customer size. So it's not just going on the internet and trying to figure out some generic definition. It's taking my definition and then pulling the data and actually presenting it in a way that I asked for. And so on the left here, you've seen on the right what the Mind's thinking. On the left, you're seeing the actual output. And now it's giving me that breakdown of customers based on size of company. So very, very quickly and easily, I'm able to get answer to the question that I had. And it's simply based on providing it to access to a database. In this case, it's a PostgreSQL database, and this is the only description I have to give it. And this is more for my benefit, than the Minds, insofar as all I told it was this data about customers and use cases. So this is a great, example of, how a Mind can take your data and present answers to some of the pressing questions you might have just on a regular basis without having to go look at dashboards and reports. One of the things that I'm finding as I talk to organizations is that they oftentimes want to stump the Mind, right? And they oftentimes end up stumping me instead. And I have to figure out later, can it do it? Do I have a data set that can support it? But one of the things that we were talking to some investors the other day, and they were interested in Minds that could help them find opportunities and find information about the performance of their companies, their portfolio companies. And so one of the things they were asking was like, oh, can I ask it, how is a specific company performing, or how many companies or which companies are performing at a certain level? And so one of the things I asked this Mind to demonstrate a similar thing was, well, similar to how many companies or which companies are above a certain performance threshold, here it's how many customers have more than 1,000 employees. And in this case, it's 15. And of course, I could ask it, which of my customers has more than 1,000 employees? And it should be able to take that one and now give me the 15 names that have more than 1,000 employees. And so again, you're able to see as it thinks through, it's able to figure it out based on just a pure quantification perspective, as well as give me the information that I need from a more detailed perspective. Another question that I got, hey, can a mind understand natural language so well that you don't even have to use numbers, right? One of the use cases we got was about a warehouse manager. And the warehouse manager was interested in knowing how many out-of-stock products that I had. So how many and which out-of-stock products do I have? So this is a different data set, different mind even, and I'm asking this question and it's gonna go through and figure out, and this is a sample data set, but again, I never had to say how many products have quantity 0. This is an example of how you could simply just ask the question in natural English, and no matter how you ask it, the mind's gonna come up with the answer that you intended or that you wanted to get. And so that's a great example again of how the mind can take the intent, translate it into a useful answer for you.
Sydney, thank you so much for giving us that demo. I do have a few questions I want to ask you as well. And my first question is, in a few words, could you please tell us what is a mind?
Yeah, absolutely. A mind is a turnkey private solution to be able to connect AI to your data. It allows you to answer questions that you've always been curious about. You know, if you had the opportunity to ask, the most important database that you had, the most important questions you have, what would you be able to get out of it? And that's what a mind allows you to do.
What actually makes a mind unique to other AI tools out there?
Yeah, a couple of things. One, it's its ability to truly understand what you're asking for. So first, take that intent of the question and translate that into an actual plan and federate that query across whatever data source is necessary to answer it. And that's really the hard part. It's, people have data in so many locations. And for an enterprise, it's not about getting data from the internet. It's about getting information from the data in the enterprise and being able to connect across all those enterprise data sources, understand exactly how to talk to them. We're fluent in all those data sources. That's where the magic happens. Pairing the large language model with the ability to speak fluently to any data source is what really makes the magic of the mind's answers come to life.
I think it's pretty amazing because it seems like what we're doing with Mind is making it easier for folks to build RAG applications without actually building the entire application. Is that correct?
Absolutely. A lot of the organizations we're working with are telling us, look, we'll take the front end. We're going to put our expertise, our focus on making the front end of an application, but we want a mind to be powering the back end of our application. It takes so much work off of our plate, figuring out the right way to do reasoning, figuring out how to create all these data interconnections, and ultimately figuring out how to productionize a RAG system. And it's not just a RAG system in a traditional sense. This is truly a broad spectrum of knowledge that becomes available. And the improvements that we're making to the way that we handle databases, knowledge bases, data warehouses, application data feeds. There's just so much opportunity for innovation, and as a result, so much opportunity for knowledge to be sprung from these sources.
That is amazing, Sydney. I really appreciate you taking the time to meet today despite your busy schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Sydney, for that demo. Now, before we end the video, I just want to let you know that Serverless Minds is coming early 2025. Hosted by MindsDB, available via API, with also a free tier for early adopters. And we also have Enterprise Minds that's available now, deployed on-prem or in VPC for ultimate control, complete with fast track implementation and of course dedicated support. Ready to see how Minds can transform your data experience? Sign up on our website to join the early adopter program for Serverless Minds. For Enterprise Minds, contact us directly for details and pricing.